In this tutorial, we are going to write our first program in Java and produce an output. Output is what is the program going to produce into certain screen. In this case, we are going to produce it into terminal. So first, go to JEdit and open JEdit. If you haven't done this, you can go to options and keep the JEdit in dock so you can easily access it anytime you need to. As you can see, mine is already sitting in the dock, so all I have to do is click on it to open. Once you open and you close your tip of the day, you go to File, New, and you have a blank screen in your JEdit to type your first program. In the beginning, it's a little bit difficult to understand every step in writing your Java program because there are certain things that it would take you a while before you learn and understand. So you simply learn the syntax at this point, and then as we move on, you will be able to learn about each and every one of those words that you would be typing. So in your first line of your first program, type public class. And then after this, choose a name for your program. Since we still haven't learned about identifiers, which are valid names for programs or for variables, just to keep it simple, use letters to name your first program. So in this case, I am going to name it Ansari program. Notice there is no space and there is no other symbol but letters of alphabet. No numbers, nothing else. Then you go to next line and you begin your first program. In order to indicate in Java first program, you open up a curly braces. That is not the right one. This is the right one. That's a begin in Java. Then you go to next line. Notice JEdit automatically indents it for you. At this point, you start the main part of your program called main method. And you type public static void main string with a capital S, open bracket, close bracket, args. All these, it will take you a little while to learn and understand what it is, but you need to type them exactly as you see them on this screen. And then you indicate the beginning of your main method with an open curly braces again. Go to the next line and type system.out.println. All lowercase, and this is ln, this is not in. That would be a common error in the beginning for the beginners. Open the parentheses, and whatever you're going to type in between the double quotes in here will be produced as the output of your first program. So in this case, I would like to produce hello Java. And I don't need the extra space, so I delete that space. And I close my parentheses and I close my semicolon. All these are part of Java syntax that you will learn as we move on. The only part that you have the liberty to type whatever you want is in between the two double quotes. So hello Java exclamation mark will be your output. So you can put anything you want. For example, system.out.println. My name is Mr. Ansari. Close the parentheses again, semicolon. These are part of Java syntax. You cannot forget them or you will get an error. Close your curly braces. Notice JEdit automatically indents it back. And once I close my program, it automatically indents it back. So we are done with writing our first program. What I suggest you do is change the name in here instead of Ansari program to something that you like to name your first program. And also in here, put something different that would indicate it is not a syntax, but it's your choice to type anything you want to type in here. Once we are done with writing this, we need to save this we are going to save them under chapter 1. So go to File, Save As. Make sure you're under chapter 1. So most likely yours will open up in your home directory, find the Java programs, double click on it and find your chapter 1 and double click. So you're in chapter 1, you're ready to save it. Very important. Let me drag this to the side. The name that you chose for your program needs to be the name of your file with the extension of .java. So in this case, I'm sorry, program, I'm not done, .java. This is how you save your Java programs. The name of your class or your program needs to be exactly the same with the same spelling and same lowercase, uppercase, identical, with the extension of .java added to it. And once you save it, you are done with saving your Java program. It's time to compile and run our program. Obviously, we wrote something in English and computer doesn't understand English. Computer only understands zeros and ones. So in order to do this, we need to go through an intermediate step of compiling our program. Java does more than simple compiling. There are a few things that it does before it actually runs the code, but at this point, we're going to keep it abstract and simple. We just assume we are going to compile it. So you basically click on the terminal. Again, if you haven't installed it into the dock, you can do that by just going to the options and keeping the dock. When the terminal opens, it always opens in your home directory. In this case, mine is Mansoor.Ansari. What you want to do is, if you just want to know what you have in there, you can always ls. And what I'll need to go to is Java programs. So I say cd, I type cd, Java programs. And it moves to Java programs. If you notice in here now, I am inside the directory of Java programs. My home name always shows up, but if you look right behind it, you will see Java programs. Now I need to move to chapter 1. So I say cd, I type cd. A shortcut is you can just put an asterisk and then a 1 instead of chapter 1. What terminal will do, it will look for anything that ends with 1. Hopefully you don't have anything else ending in 1, and it will take you to chapter 1. Notice chapter 1 now appears before my home directory name. So I know I'm in chapter 1. To make sure I have my file in there, I type ls, and this program that we just wrote together, Ansari program.java, appears in my directory. First step is I need to compile this. In order to compile a Java program, type javac Ansari program with the extension of .java. What this does, first of all, it checks for error. So if you have made any mistakes, it will show up in here. We are going to intentionally make a mistake and see what the compiler does. So let's take a look in here. Let me omit the S of the system. Make sure you always save it. The shortcut to save is right here. Save it before you compile it. So let's compile it now. It goes through the program and it goes to line 6 and it says there is a problem in here. There is one error. And obviously it's because I deleted the letter S. So let's go and correct that error. So what the compiler does before actually translating it to zeros and ones, it also checks for syntax error. In this case, I have an error in here. So I'm going to come back in here and type my S again. Every time you make correction to your program, you have to go through the stages of first saving it, then compiling it again. So this is the little shortcut for the step, save, or you can just type Command S. And then let's go back to terminal. And again, you can use an upper arrow and lower arrow to move up and down if you want to. Okay, let's compile this. It compiled perfectly in a sense that it didn't give me any error. So no news is good news when you compile. You are not going to hear anything from the compiler saying that, oh, it looks good. It basically gives you nothing. Nothing is good news. Once you compile, you're ready to run. There is a huge difference between compiling